William Bradford, speaking in 1630 of the founding of the Plymouth Bay Colony, said that all great and honorable actions are accompanied with great difficulties, and both must be enterprised and overcome with answerable courage. If this capsule history of our progress teaches us anything, it is that man in his quest for knowledge and progress is determined and cannot be deterred. The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. We mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it. For the eyes of the world now look into space, to the moon, and to the planets beyond. Our leadership in science and industry, our hopes for peace and security, our obligations to ourselves as well as others, all require us to make this effort, to solve these mysteries, to solve them for the good of all men. There is no strife, no prejudice, no national conflict in outer space as yet. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
What's going on, everyone? This is your man MechVape here, and today we are looking at Kerbal Space Program. Probably right now one of my favorite games as of lately. I really hope you enjoyed the intro video of John F. Kennedy's "We Go to the Moon" speech. One of my favorite speeches, just for the fact that he wanted to explore space. So really hope you enjoyed that. And we're going to be doing things kind of differently today. And by saying that, I mean we're going to start from the bottom and we're going to work our way up. So we're going to start with the smallest, dinkiest little spacecraft that we can build, and then we're going to go bigger and badder and greater. Now, unlike our space station, or not our space station, our space program, sorry, we're not working on Earth for this. We're working on a place called Kerbal. And as you can see, we have little green men known as Kerbals. Oh, they're just so cute. Yes, they're just so cute. Yes, they really are. So yes, we have to remember and recognize these brave little green Kerbals for all the hard work and the sacrifice that they have done in order to reach the stars, to go where no Kerbal has gone before. So with that, let's get started. Now, we're going to go ahead, like I said before, we're going to go ahead and start new. What do we want to name ourselves? Let's name ourselves the MechVape Space Agency. And now, for a flag, we're just going to go ahead and choose a random flag. And now, yeah, that's a good flag. Now we have 3 different game modes. We have Sandbox, we have Science, and we have Career. Now, Sandbox, everything is unlocked. All the parts, all the features, and all available from the start. Free to play without any constraints, but R&D and mission control are unavailable. So, really, I would not recommend that for beginners, especially if you're first starting off on this game. Because you can build a big old rocket, yes, but is it going to work? Probably not. Science. So, in Science mode, you must gather more scientific data to research new technologies. So pretty much that saying is you got to keep going better and better and better and better and better with every mission, so that way you can get more research, more science to be able to get new technologies. Now, Career is what we're going to be playing today. In Career, you have to manage all aspects of your space program. That means you got to worry about your funds, you got to worry about your rep, your science, and you also get contracts that are available in mission control. We're going to go ahead and leave it at normal because that's about right. And we're just going to go get started. Nice to meet you. I'm Gene Kerman, Flight Director and your guide for this quick introduction. This is the Space Center. From here you can manage all aspects of the space program. Feel free to have a look around, hold the right mouse button to move the camera, or use the arrow keys. Right-click over to Space Center facilities to view more about them, and left-click when you're ready to head inside. If you need more information, check out the training section on the main menu. Well, thank you, Gene. I didn't realize you were from the South, and how did you get down in here? Well, thank you for that, Gene. We've got it. So we got a couple of buildings here that we're going to kind of keep our eyes on. So we have our runway, which is also connected with our spaceplane hangar. So our spaceplane hangar, is where we're going to be building our space planes, and then we'll launch them off the runway. I do warn you now, when we do space planes, I'm not the greatest. So we should get a couple of good laughs out of it, but we'll be doing that later on. Then we have mission control, and we'll be visiting this building here pretty soon. This is where you're going to find all your contracts. Wow, just lost my train of thought. Yeah, this is where you're going to find all your contracts and be able to get more along the lines of funds and etc., etc. But we'll be coming back to that building. Over here we got our launch pad, self-explanatory. It's where we're going to launch our spacecraft. Vehicle assembly building, this is where we're going to actually build the spacecraft. So you'll be spending a lot of time in here because this is one of the main buildings in this entire game. Over here we have our tracking station. Yep, tracking station, my apologies. So we have our tracking station. All that's going to be able to do is whatever you launch into space and get into a good orbit, we're going to be able to track it from there. So if we want to launch a space station piece in there, watch it orbit for a little while, see how it's going to do, but then we want to add to it, we can easily go back to the vehicle assembly building and send another one up. So that's a good thing. Research and development, you'll be spending a little bit of time in here too. This is going to give you all of your research, all where you're going to spend nothing but your science, because with this is where you're going to get all your new technologies and all your new components to continue to build bigger and better space program. So now we have our astronaut complex, and this is where you're going to hire all your little Kerbals ahead, so then that way you can have a good selection of them of who wants to or who needs to go up and who's going to be stuck sitting down here on Kerbin. So it is a little bit interesting. Administration building is where you're going to have all your different how you want to manage things, what do you want to do for rep, what do you want to do for science, what do you want to do for this and that and this and that, and we'll take a look into that later. But right now let's go back over here to mission control and hop inside. Oh, hey look, it's Gene again. Hi Gene. Yep. So as you can see, we have active contract 0 with a max of 2, and these are available, and as you can see we've got active ones and our archives. But for right now we need to go ahead and select launching our first vessel, and we need to get escape the atmosphere, because these are two of the basic ones and we'll get those finished today. So we're going to go and do that. We're going to come up here to close, and let's get started. Let's just go straight into it. Alright. Hello, I'm Werner von Kerman, Chief Rocketry Engineer. This is the Vehicle Assembly Building. Here is where we build spacecraft and later roll them out on the launch pad for flight. Pretty impressive, isn't it? On your left you will find components to construct your own spacecraft. Select the starting part, and then attach others to it to build a ship. You can then have a look around with the right mouse button or the arrow keys. That's it really, it is not a visit for a rocket science. Oh. Anyhow, if you need a more in-depth explanation on how to build, have a look at the training section at the main menu. Well, thank you, Werner von Kerman. I have to say, I love that mustache. I really, really do. So, alright, we got that. Thank you. So, on your left-hand side here, you see all your different parts. You've got pods, fuel tanks, engines, command and control, structural, aerodynamics, utility, and science. And what that's going to do is this is going to be our main components for our ship. And of course, starting off, we don't have a lot. So first what we need is a command pod. Alright, command pod. Yay, command pod. Let's check fuel tanks. Okay, well, we don't have anything for fuel tanks just yet. So we need to go to engines. And we're stuck with the RT-5 Flea solid fuel booster. And that's not going to give me a lot of power. It's going to give me plenty of power, just not very long. Which is okay. We're just starting out. We don't need a lot. Nothing command and control. Structural, we do not need a modular girder segment. We really don't need that. Aerodynamics, we are going to need some fins. So another thing you want to look at here is this thing called symmetry mode. And if I were to hit that 4 times, and I have this fin selected, I can come on anywhere here on this spacecraft, boom, and it automatically places 4 down in the same exact way. So that way makes it nice, makes it even, makes it look good. And now you can also do angle snap, which allows you to switch between hexagon or circle. Utility. Yes, we do need to put a Mark 16 parachute up here. That's mainly where you put your parachutes. A lot is going to be up top because you're going to have to get able to pull this down. Or pull it up. Slow it down, you know what I mean. Alright, and for that, let's check science. Yes, we do need the mystery goo. This is what's going to help us get more science when we get farther into space. Now, as you can see, I was trying to place 4 down. I don't really want to place 4 because we're not going to need it. So I'm going to bring that down to 2, hopefully. Alright, perfect. I'm going to come on each side. Bam, just like that. And, alright, technically, we are finished already. Down here is your engineer's report, and that's going to tell you all the different parts, how much you weigh, size, height, width, and length, and the severity. So, what should we name this bad boy? What do we want to name it? Let's name it the Colonial, if I could ever spell, Colonial Mark 1. And we're not going to give it a description because we don't need to. We're going to go ahead and save. Yes, down here. In the bottom right, you'll see these right here that has that 0, and if I were to go +1, 2, 3, 4, those are going to be your different stages. And what we're going to have to do is, if we do that, we're going to not only launch that, but we're going to launch our parachute, which we don't want. So we're going to take the engine, move it to the 1, and we've just made a new stage. So stage 1 will go first, I'll hit space, bam, stage 0 will go off, and that'll be our parachute. But that will be when we actually get into space, or get closer. So anyway, well, let's go ahead and save it one more time. Who do we have for a crew? Yes, okay, good. We do have our good man, Jebediah Kerman. Jebediah has been around for, I want to say he's been around since at least the Alpha age. Alpha and Beta age. He's been around with this command so much, and almost a lot is named after him. Not almost a lot is named after Jebediah. And you can never go wrong with Jebediah. He's always happy. So, anyway, let's go ahead and let's launch this bad boy, and let's see what happens. Okay, so here we are on the launch pad. And as you can see, it is a very, very flat piece of land where it looks like a couple of explosions, but the graphics on it are actually gorgeous. So, first things first is we got to see our throttle. And for throttle, if you hold left shift, you have throttle up. You hold left control, throttle down. Now if you press Z or Z, you have full throttle. And if you hit X, no throttle. Pretty simple, and it actually helps out a lot. So we're going to go and shove it to full throttle. The R button on your keyboard is for your RCS thruster, which we do not have on this, so we're not going to really worry about it. T is what's going to control your SAS, or your command. Your more of your control. So when you pick a position and you hit SAS, it's going to stay in that one position. Hopefully. We will see. But we will get to that later. But right now, SAS is on, full throttle, launching Jebediah Kerbal for the MechVape Space Agency's first launch. In 3, 2, 1, go! Whoa! Wow, did that thing go quick. Alright, alright. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Well, that was awesome. I'm going to go ahead and observe my mystery goo. Give me a little bit of science. Boom. I'm going to go ahead and do a crew report as well. Nice. Alright, and you see now we're getting ready. We're slowing down. Boom, and now we're going back down. Made it to about 7,200 meters, which is actually not that bad. Now, as you can see, you got up here warp. And what that's going to do is if you hit your period key, it's going to speed up time. Oh, see, we just became a missile. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. I'm going to slow it down here in just a second once it hits 2,000. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start slowing this bad boy down. Come on, baby, you can hold it. Ah, there we go. I was hoping it would flip over. There we go. I had to flip it myself. And now she's just going to glide smoothly to the ground. But you hit your period key and your warp time, and you hit the comma key and you bring warp back down to normal. And that totally depends on where you're at. And sometimes you can have long missions where you got to try and catch up with something, and warp comes in handy a lot. So there we go. We have landed safely. Now we observe that mystery goo. Let's observe the other mystery goo. And I have observed the goo. So we're going to go ahead and keep the data, and we're going to go ahead and recover the vessel. And with that, we have already just launched our first spacecraft. Took us no time at all, but we didn't get along. We did earn 19 science, which is a great thing. We're going to need that. Funds 74,540, which is great starting off. So, Jebediah got 10. We have a total of 10 rep. He's got an XP. Alright. So let's go to mission control real quick. Alright. We've got to break these, which we're going to do. But let us go back. And we're going to go to research and development. Now, we've got to start off with engineering 101 and basic rocketry. And basic rocketry is going to give us a liquid fuel engine, solid fuel booster, and a fuel tank. Engineering is going to give us another cockpit, Science Junior for more science, Communitron, the TR-18A stack decoupler, which is going to become one of our best friends when we get into bigger rockets. So we're going to go and research them both. And that leaves us with only 9.5 science, which means we really can't get anything else as of right now. So we're going to come back to that. But right now, let's go back and let's go work on the Colonial. Alright, so first off, I'm going to get rid of the solid fuel booster. And now we're left with our basic capsule. Command pod capsule, however you want to put it. So first things first, I'm going to come down here to structural and grab me a stack decoupler. Because I'm going to want that, especially when I want to go into re-entry. I don't want to have all that excess weight, because that's just going to make it worse. So we're going to go and have that. We'll go back to fuel tanks. Now these fuel tanks are small. It only holds 45 pounds of liquid fuel, so they're going to go quick. So we're going to do 5. 4 would have been nice, but you know what? I want to go 5, just to make it a little bit more. So we're going to go with our liquid fuel engine. Alright, so that's our basic rocket, but now what we're going to do is we're going to bring back another decoupler. With that, boom! We're ready for the next part, which means another 5 fuel tanks. That's right, we're doing this a 2-stage rocket. Same size each. Boom! 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And another liquid fuel engine. Perfect. Now let's go back down to aerodynamics, get our basic fins again. Bring this to 4. Kind of readjust. Boom. Come on up. We're going to do the same thing for the second part. Alright. That looks heavenly. Awesome. Now, yeah, that'll work perfectly. Utility and science. We're going to do the Science Junior canister in the next one. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're right now going to see if we can get into space with this bad boy. So, with that, let's double check our stages. Yep. And we're going to decouple here once that runs out. We're going to launch this one, decouple up here, and then parachute. Perfect. Well, we don't want to name this a Mark 1. Let's name it the Mark 2, because this is the second iteration. We're going to save it, come over to our crew. Jebediah, we're going to replace you for this one. We're going to give it to Valentina. She needs some time up in space, so why not? So we're going to go ahead and go to parts again. Alright, so we look all set to go. Save it one last time. And let's head to the launch pad. Alright, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead and hit Z. We're going to go ahead and hit SAS. Colonial Mark II with Valentina Kerman. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Oh yes. And we're off. Doing good, doing good. I'm liking the way it's looking. Holding steady. Doing a little bit of rocking, but that's okay. About halfway through our first thing of liquid fuel. Alright. So now you can see the wind starting to get to it. Wait for it. You see it when I'm getting ready to get closer to the atmosphere. It's gonna go right about now. I'm gonna release my SAS and I'm gonna angle it downward. Keep on angling it down, 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 down. Keep on going. Oh, too far, too far. Right about there. Ah, fight it, fight it, fight it, fight it up, fight it up, fight it up, fight it up. Come on, come on. There we go. Oh gosh. Why does it not want to stay with me? That'll work. Perfect. Boom. Decouple. Alright. Whew. We almost had a little hiccup there. But we are 50,000 meters in the air, which is amazing. So we just shot sky high with those two sciences that we unlocked. How cool is that? And look, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The stars. We are officially in space. There's the moon. Let us open up the map by pressing M. Wow. Look at that. Oh, I gotta pop back out. 100,000 meters in the air. And we're looking at going to 189,000. So with a little bit more power, we can get a good orbit going. And that was basic. And that's really, really good. So first things first is we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do mystery goo. Look at that, 10 science. That's going to be great. The goo has seemed to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to have become brittle. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do a crew report. Alright. Yep. We are very much in space right now. Thank you, Valentina. Now, I can't do an EVA. Because without an EVA, we need to upgrade our astronaut complex. But you can actually get your Kerbal out of his little command pod in his suit and send him around in space, which is great for when you have extra buildings. So I'm going to hit warp once just to kind of speed it up. I'm going to hit M again. I'm just watching so I can see where I'm going to stop. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. And the reason I did that is for the fact that I'm going to do my second goo. Because it seems like the farther you get out, the better. See, look at that. Another 10. So, alright, we've done our science for what we need to do. I'm going to increase my altitude to about 1,500. I'll make it 1,200. 1,200 seems nice. Yes, look at Valentina. She is so, so happy. So, with that, let's go ahead and do warp. We're going to speed it up as fast as we can go, and I'll automatically change it back to the way it was. And we're just going to continue to speed up a little. We're going to... Here's our reheating. Oh! Oh, God. Okay. Oh goodness, no, we're gonna do this again. Okay. So we overheated and we exploded. God, I wish we had unlocked heat shields, but we didn't have enough. So let's just revert to the launch and retry this. We were doing so well. Alright, 3, 2, 1. So we're just gonna have to watch it. I think we just came in at way too steep of an angle, which is surprising because that usually never happens. Usually these Mark 1 command pods can definitely make the landing. So it was a bit of a surprise, but I was like, whoa, what in the world? Alright, almost there. Getting ready for first stage to be destroyed or popped off. Alright. Pop off, fire. Angle it down just to about, let's say. Come on, baby. Come on, come on. Boom, right there. Perfect. Alright. Another success. Whoa, another good one. Wow, 272. That was a great run. So again, we're going to go ahead and do a quick crew report. Boom. We're going to observe our mystery goo. And we're going to warp it up. Check my map real quick. Going to 272,000. And we're going to do our other mystery goo. And it feels right at home here for 15 summits. Now we have to survive this one. So we're going to go ahead and warp it till we can't warp no more. And we'll re-enter this normally. I'm going to warp it just a little bit till we start the re-entry. With that, I want to kind of angle it just a little bit better. Please don't die on me. Please, 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 please survive. Come on, make it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Damn. Okay. So we're going to do this one last time. One last time, and we're going to go in a different direction with it. We're not going to go so far, like after that first stage goes up. Once this goes away, we're not going to angle it so far. We're only going to give it a little bit, just because we want to get up into space and out. So for that, launch. This will be the last one, I promise. Valentina Kerman, one more time. For the gold. I should say for the bronze. Alright. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. And boom. Alright, now, again. Just fine. We're getting farther and farther every time. I don't think we're gonna make this. I was gonna do a quick crew report. Just do one of our mystery goos. Alright. We're going to 338,000. So we're just going to warp time a little bit. We'll go right to here. We're going to do our other mystery goo. Boom. Alright, here we go. Let's try this one more time. Please, 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 please. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on, baby, come on, survive for me. Just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Alright, right at 16,000 is when it dies. Well, today is a sad day, for we have lost one of our valiant comrades. Let us return to the Space Center. We'll have to go back to the drawing board and see if we can fix that. Valiant, yet sad. So, with that, thank you for watching. Hope you want to see. Hope you. Yeah. Sorry, I can't talk today. Hope you have a great day. If you want to see more Kerbal Space Program, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. With that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.